Well, hey there, folks. Thought I'd make a video of the backyard. It is Monday, October 17th, so we're well into the middle, if not just a tiny bit past the middle of October 2022. And I'll show you how the backyard's doing. Just got done mowing the lawn. The flowers, the marigolds and zinnias here are still doing very good. Look at those chrysanthemums. They've really exploded, huh? They're looking great. Yellow. There's some marigolds in there. Everything's doing really good this time of the year. It's nice and mellow this time of year. We've been in the I'm going to say the mid to high 70s in the daytime. And we're definitely cooling off at night. Probably the low 50s. We might be touching the high 40s, just depending on which evening it is. Those marigolds and zinnias I put in that bucket are doing great. I just planted those today. Those are another type of a creeping type plant, vine, whatever you want to call it. And they'll survive our winter here, so they should come back in the spring. They were on clearance at Lowe's, so I picked a bucket up, and I mixed up some planting soil, some chicken manure, and some like really good potting soil. Mixed it all up in there, and threw about half a handful of red wiggler worms for my compost in there too. Anyways, here's the grass. It's looking amazing for this time of year. It's a deep emerald green. This is a Kentucky bluegrass. That's what they consider to be a native grass up here. Well, I don't know if it's a Kentucky bluegrass, but they do call it a bluegrass. But that's all I've ever heard is a Kentucky bluegrass. I know it's more of a cool weather grass, even though it does tolerate the 100+ days in the summer as long as you give it enough water. So I didn't film it last week, but last week I actually mowed straight up and down, which I rarely do. I usually just do one angle, then the other angle. But I switched it up and went this way last week. Of course, this week you can see which way I went. Still got a couple stragglers on the apple tree. None of those are really any good. The birds and everything have got into those. I took off what I wanted basically and just leave the rest on there for the birds. Here's a good example of where the birds have been feeding on it right there. And all the ones that fall on the ground, I just toss over there, the pears and the apples, and the birds can help themselves to it. There's the pear tree. There's just a couple pears left on that. Most of those I've either taken off and we've eaten them or made a pear cobbler or just throwing them over here for the birds. You can see the leaves. They're starting to get yellow leaves and they're starting to fall off. Same thing with the cherry tree here. Got a few yellow leaves on there, and every morning we got some on the grass here. I just mowed, so it doesn't really, look like it. But here's some in the rocks. There, you can see the rocks better. So yeah, it's getting a little cold at night for them, I suppose. Here's this other chrysanthemum. Look at that nice, what is that, like a burgundy color. Real pretty there. And this bucket looks nice all summer. We got some marigolds in there, and I don't even know the names of most of this other stuff. Those are some snapdragons there. There is a hollyhock. No, not a hollyhock. Not a hollyhock. Well, I forgot the name of it. It's a real poisonous plant, I know that, but they're pretty. Anyways, it doesn't do very well in the summer, but I guess it's starting to grow back now. But yeah, we got a variety of things in there. There's some of those rocks we collected with that blue copper in there. Just stack some up over here. Here's the koi pond. They're still doing well. I'll zoom in there. You can see the koi fish. Look at them. They've all got color now. There's a couple in there that have more black and white on them, but most of them got their orange color. But yeah, still doing good in there. You can see the sun's not up and the pump still works. There's this grapevine over here. Yeah, so far everything's still great back here, but as soon as we get a cold spell, it'll all be barren for the winter. There's that chair I picked up in Oregon that made out of a stump of a cottonwood tree. Isn't that cool? This one here is, let's see. One of these is jasmine, and one is, I forgot. Anyways, yeah, they're different. Anyways, there's that pear tree. You can see the leaves are definitely turning yellow. But I'm more concerned with the grass. I've really taken good care of it this year. Haven't even fertilized it too much, to be honest. I used Milorganite on it probably about 3 times this year, and I don't use very much of it. I use it pretty sparingly. And then the other couple times I fertilize it, I use an all-natural product. I think it might be called Dr. Earth. I'm not sure. It comes in a green bottle. It goes on the end of your garden hose, and it's an all-natural fertilizer. I've used that a couple times. There's my goat. Meh. Meh. The only thing that's not correct about him is his eyes should be rectangle, not a dot, if you know about goats. There's that other stump I brought home from Oregon, the hollowed out tree stump there. Of course, there's a rooster on top of that. These here, if you listen, you can hear the seeds in there. So these will pop open and disperse their seeds. Not that they're going to grow on these rocks, but that's what they would do out in the desert. I should collect them and plant them around here. There's the guinea fowl. There's a little squirrel down there eating his little nut. Still got some flowers back here. Those are pretty colorful. Look at those. I don't remember seeing those ones last year. Those are pretty nice. There's this bucket over here. I really don't do much here. It just grows, and whatever grows in there, grows in there. Those marigolds grow pretty much anywhere. There's Mr. or Mrs. Owl. Starting to get some rust patina. Now this here, I always say I'm going to try to get some more stuff growing in here. Look at this. It's really exploded this year. What are these flowers? You know what? I did a Google Lens on them, and I already forgot the name of them. but this might be a zinnia. I'm not sure. Yeah, I already forgot what they're called, but they're doing pretty well in here. Of course, they'll all die in the winter, and I'm sure they're dropping their seeds. We'll probably have more next year, or maybe I'll put something else in there. But it has filled out. It's definitely given some color to the yard this time of year, which is nice. Definitely like that. Got another rooster over here. Oh, there's that tree that got knocked down in that big windstorm. Well, that was in the springtime. But it grows a little something back, so it gives a little color at least. It would have kept going and got a lot bigger, but I trimmed it back. If you let it get too big, it'll the wind will break those branches off. But yeah, I'm really surprised that's come back. Sunflowers are all done. You can see those in those pots there. They're all done for the year. I'm sure the birds are enjoying the seeds in there. There's another little squirrel there, just hanging out up there by the wine barrel water fountain. And this one does stay full on its own. It's on a drip system. It keeps it full. Here's all these rocks that we've collected over the last about 4 years up here. Here's some of those rocks containing that copper turquoise look right there. Look at those. Those aren't even wet, and they're just really colorful. This here I got out in the desert. A guy was out there prospecting, I'm guessing for silver. There was an old compressor and a bunch of old tools that were just left out there and abandoned. Someone had basically torn all stuff apart, but I'm guessing he was looking for silver, because that's what I would think that stuff is in there. You can really see it there. That's what I would guess. Looks like the rest of that's quartz there. That one there's got a lot of patina, huh? A lot of rust. More marigolds. Yeah, got the shed open today. Got a lot of stuff in there. I forgot the name of this one. I planted this a few weeks back, and I got it on clearance at Lowe's. They doomed it to death, and it's come back like crazy. I really like that. That'll come back next year. And of course, all those grass plants are doing great there. And this bucket here is really filled out. The little lavender. I forget what I planted in here. I just put them in there because they're perennials and they'll come back every year. This here's a periwinkle. It's getting pretty big. There's my windmill there. No wind up here this time of year, which is pretty strange. I know in the spring and the summer it's terrible, but it's really calm. It's really nice this time of year in the fall. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. I trimmed this last week because it was just growing crazy, my climbing rose bush. Yeah, so that's the backyard. Mid-October, you can see all the yellow leaves right there. Then of course, here's all my firewood. I've got lots and lots and lots of firewood. And the tortoises are already up for the night. But here's that grapevine over here, and here's my compost bin right here. That's just full of all kinds of red wiggler worms. If I lift up the tortoise's water dish, usually you can see them under there. Yeah, you can see some there. Really, really rich soil right here. I know, I gotta clean it and fill it back up. And here's some more of those rocks over here. You can really see the colors on that. Alright folks, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Hopefully I can keep this grass greener a little bit longer this year. Y'all take care.